Hello, everyone. Welcome to my weird and wonderful world. And today I want to give you a bit of nostalgia for myself and something I used to always love doing and still do on occasions. I'm, as you may know if you watch my videos, I'm pretty much an old school type of guy. Now I grew my adolescence was in the 70s. My teenage years, all my teenage years was in the 80s. So I'm an 80s teenager. If you keep that in perspective, and I still love the old ways of doing things sometimes. I still love cassettes. Now, I don't actually have many like actual studio cassettes of bands and stuff, but I do love blank tapes. I loved recording, and I'm just going to show you a few of the blank tapes that I have made. And I mean, when I made these is recently within the last 4 or 5 years that I've made these cassette tapes, and basically taping it off of the internet because sometimes it's practical for me to get stuff that you can't normally buy on CD or even on cassette that is just hard to get. So, in a way for me to have it, so I can play it at certain times, like when I don't want to have my computer on and I'm doing some cleaning or whatnot, I can put on. I mostly often put on a CD, of course, but every once in a while, I do like to play a cassette. And there's certain stuff that I liked having on cassette that just makes me happy. Now, the first cassette I want to show you, of course, and I want to be making a better cover for these. Some of these I have a good, decent enough cover, but I want to remake the covers on these because it's something I enjoy doing when I have the time. That is, lately I've been really busy and everything, so I do need to make the time. It won't be now; it'll probably be within a couple of weeks or so. But I am considering doing some better covers. Now, the first one I want to show you for my cassettes would be my Tool live and demos. And what it has on it, that's upside down. It has the live Philadelphia from 1992, which you can see the set list on there of what songs are on that. And then on the bottom there, I have the 72826, their first demo that they ever made for. Oh, gotta make sure it's in the camera there. Yeah, it's the very first demo they made in 1991, and you can actually find the real cassettes of that. And I know the Trash Talkers, which is a Patreon too, with with Behringer Bynes and Larry Cowan. They have a cassette on in you can see it in their studio when they're doing their uh, their videos and stuff, and that's always cool to see back there. But yeah, and then I have some Anima demos from 1991 also. Oh no, sorry, 1994. Correction, 1994 Anima demos, and that includes a Stinkfist, Eulogy, Push It, and Anima itself. And I love playing this. And I got this off. Of course, I recorded this from the internet, but the sound quality, because of the way I taped it, is excellent sound quality, almost studio quality. So this is something I really love playing. I again I want to make a better cover for this eventually. So, and I will be. Now, the next two I want to show you are kind of companion pieces, and it's all kinds. Now this would be part one and two, and then part three and four. And this is Iron Maiden stuff. If you can see that there, a lot of it is basically instrumental stuff. Like with this here, yeah, it's instrumental studio versions. Like where the vocals are taken away, and you have just the instrumental stuff. And there's also other a couple songs here and there where it's only vocals. There is no music. Like for example, the first thing there for "Wasted Years" is vocals only, and all those songs that you see underneath that on side A there is basically instrumentals. Like they take they cut out the lyrics so you can hear just the music only. I don't play this too often, but I still love that I have all this, and I should play that pretty soon because it is pretty good. I love this stuff. So yeah, I got like two cassettes worth of just different kind of Iron Maiden stuff that I don't have on CD at all. Like I think it was mostly fan made, but of course again I got this all on from the internet. Now the next two is something I play more often than not. I mean, besides the Tool, which I play at least once a month, or maybe sometimes every 2 weeks here and there. I really love playing this because Tool is my favorite band. I still even play the newest Tool album, like at least once a week for sure. I still love Fear Inoculum and I play that a lot. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about my cassette tapes. I have fun with this stuff. And as you can see, this one here is not in there because it's in my player because I do play this. And this is the classic 1960 Spider-Man cartoon music. Both sides. It has everything from from people like David Lineup. There's Johnny Pearson, Sid Dale, Alan Hankshaw, Johnny Hawksworth, Bill Martin, and Phil Couture. There's Kenny Graham, Keith Manfield, the Mohawks, William Luce, Emil Caden, Ray Ellis, and more. And yeah, it has everything you need for all that old 1960s cartoon music for Spider-Man, which is my youth. When I was like from I tell you, from the time I was born right up until like it was hard to find on I need to buy all those old cartoons of Spider-Man on DVD someday because I still that's my childhood. That's my first memories of Spider-Man. That's what made Spider-Man my favorite superhero of all time, and I love that music. It's so jazzy and groovy and so bass heavy, like boom, 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 boom. I love it. I just love it. It's so relaxing, and I'll have that on in the background. So I play this a lot. It never actually leaves my cassette deck. I have a dual cassette player, of course, so it's always in the inside on the second the tape deck thing there, always, because I played this a lot. I drew that cover, of course, just because it's Spider Man. I love Spider Man. Now, the last thing I wanted to show you, and what made me want to do this episode, because just yesterday, the Trash Talkers, which I just mentioned briefly there earlier, is they did Toto hold the line for their Tuesdays with the Tribe, which used to be called Tool Tuesday, and then it was MJK Tuesday, with Maynard James Keenan from Tool. But then they transitioned to doing just they take a poll for us fans on the Facebook page, and we get to vote what songs you're going to be playing uh, for the next Tuesday with the Tribe. And this week was Toto. And whenever I hear "Hold the Line" Toto, it always makes me think of Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas, and so I had made my own cassette of that game for the like classic rock, KDST, which is if you're familiar with playing the game, it was Axl Rose who played the radio host on that game for that channel. Whenever I played, I almost always had it on that channel because it had all the best songs and best music. Every once in a while, I would change the channel on the game to a different station, but 90% of the time, I always liked the classic rock. And I made a cover for, of course. So you can see it says Grand Theft Auto, Caders, and I even put the Rockstar logo on the side there for it. I want to make a better cover eventually. I made it quickly because it was just cool. Then there is side A and side A and then side B. Now for side A, of course, you start. I always I started with Tom Petty, and when I recorded this, of course, I took down the gameplay audio and just let the radio station play without any of the background sounds in that, so it just be clearly as if you it was from the radio itself. So as you can see, it starts off with Tom Petty, Running Down a Dream, Billy Idol, White Wedding, Toto, Hold the Line, Joe Cocker, Woman to Woman, CCR, Green River, Kiss, Strutter, Foghat, Slow Ride, Grand Funk Railroad with Some Kind of Wonderful, Leonard Skinner, Freebird, and then you turn it around and you start it off with Humble Pie, Get Down to It, David Bowie's Somebody Up There Likes Me, Eddie Money, Two Tickets to Paradise, Rod Stewart, Young Turks, Neil Young, Horse with No Name, Boston, Smokin', Heart, Barracuda, Tom Petty, Running Down a Dream Again, because I let that go again, and then there's Billy Idol, White Wedding, but then because I let it go because I wanted to get the Who. It's Eminent Front because they kind of mix up the order a little bit, and then it ends with Toto Hold the Line. So I have a couple of double songs on there from side A, and then there's side B. So that's my classic rock mix of from Caters. Now when I did this, okay, I wanted to make sure that when I recorded that this on the cassette, it was right after the part where if you're familiar with the storyline in the game in San Andreas, there's a part where you have to take you meet the truth for the kind of like the first or second time, and you have to help him burn his weed fields before the cops come. Okay, so you're there. You got to burn all his marijuana field, and then after that, right, not as long after that, that's when I did the taping so that you get to hear the radio broadcast of where Axl Rose, being the announcer, says that I wish I was downwind from that. So it has that little segment in there before. I thought that was one of my favorite parts of that radio station where Axel talks about being downwind from where you burnt the weed. So it also includes all the commercials from like Cluck and Bell and so on and so forth. So it's actually like, yeah, like you're listening to that radio station. I'm going to be playing that actually not too long after I finish this video because I want to do some cleaning and that still. And yeah, I'll be putting this on. I really want to hear it again because it's a great mix of songs. I love every song on this. So I'll be playing that. So that is, of course, you see it's not in here because it's in the player ready to go. So that is my episode today where I talk about some nostalgia of me loving to make mixtapes. And there's others I have that I might save for another episode eventually later, later on. But for now, this is where I want to show you. and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please consider subscribing if you like. Please watch some of my other videos to make sure this channel is for you if you do consider subscribing, because I do want people who are going to stick around and watch every video, because I'm doing this for those types of people. So, as always, I'm just going to leave it here. Please be safe. Take care. I will see you on the flip side. And please, everybody, have a great day, evening, night, wherever you may be.